welcome back with another soccer, aka football video. Biggest one-season wonders in football history. So we are finna see what it's talking about. Very looking forward to it. You guys know, Manchester United did win this weekend. beating Leeds 4-2. Harry Maguire finally scored a header. After how many corners? Listen, it is what it is. We'll take it. 4th place. It's Leeds. I'm not really going to get big up to it. Big game on Wednesday against Atletico Madrid. Gotta win that. Gotta win that in the Champions League, man. But, ooh, that was disgusting. Oh my god. But anyway, hope you guys are looking forward to this video. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And let's get started.
The best players perform at a high level year in, year out. Other stars burn brightly, but for a very brief time. Here are the biggest one-season wonders in football history. Papiss Cissé, Newcastle, 2011-12.
He sounds familiar.
Cissé first appeared on scouts' radar when he scored 24 goals for Freiburg in 2010-11. Midway through the following season, Newcastle snapped him up for £9.3 million. The Magpies were flying high in the Premier League. A top 4 finish was a realistic target.
Spider-Man.
Alan Pardew wanted to beef up his attack. Demba Ba had been scoring goals for fun in the first half of the season, but after his Senegal teammate arrived, Cissé became the main man up front. He scored 13 goals in 14 games that season, including a wonder strike against Chelsea.
God damn.
It was as good as it got for Cissé. He spent 4 more seasons at Newcastle, but only reached double figures in one of them. The striker then wound down his career in China and Turkey.
That's gross.
Michu, Swansea, 2012-13.
I've heard of Buddy here before. Michu. I've heard of Buddy before. I think it's just because off this season. But I do know he went crazy this season. Like, dude was going absolutely bonkers.
The summer of 2012 was a time of change for Swansea.
Swansea.
Michael Laudrup replaced Brendan Rodgers as manager. Joe Allen, Scott Sinclair and Gylfi Sigurdsson all left. In came Pablo Hernandez, Ki Sung-young and an attacking midfielder called Michu, who hardly anyone had ever heard of.
Michu.
It proved to be a masterstroke. Used as a striker by Laudrup, Michu scored 2 goals on his debut and never looked back. By the end of that campaign, he'd scored 22 times in all competitions, helping Swansea finish 9th in the Premier League and win the League Cup. But Michu
That's pretty good.
the trick in subsequent seasons. He only scored 2 league goals in 2013-14, before a nightmare spell at Napoli in which he only played 6 competitive matches. Amr Zaki, Wigan, 2008-9.
Amr Zaki.
Wigan fans thought they'd unearthed a gem when Amr Zaki made a fantastic start to his Premier League career in 2008. Signed on a season-long loan from Zamalek, the Egyptian frontman scored
Where the hell is
4
that at?
goals in his first 4 games to send Wigan shooting up the table. By the end of the year, he'd notched 10 goals and was 3rd in the scoring charts behind only Nicolas Anelka and Robinho.
That's not too bad.
The Wigan manager even compared him to Alan Shearer.
Whoa.
But then the goals dried up. Zaki didn't score again for Wigan, and his manager Steve Bruce called him the most unprofessional player he'd ever seen.
Okay, I've seen Steve Bruce coach damn near everywhere. Like, this dude has coached damn near all, like, like every club in England, I feel like Steve Bruce has coached. Like all of like the mid and lower club teams, whatever. I feel like this dude has coached there. My God. Cause I think he was just at Newcastle before he got fired or whatever. Oh my God, my guy. Like, how you keep getting these jobs? Like,
It'd be more accurate to call him a half-season wonder. The striker had a brief loan spell at Hull in 2010, but he spent the rest of his career in North Africa and the Middle East. Benjani, Portsmouth, 2007.
I ain't never heard of Buddy.
Benjani scored 6 goals in 34 games for Portsmouth in 2006-7.
That's not good.
No signs that the Zimbabwean was about to become one of the deadliest strikers in the Premier League, but that's exactly what he was the following season. Benjani averaged more than a goal every other game for Pompey, scoring 12 times in 23 appearances.
That's better.
Manchester City liked what they saw and brought him to the club in February. Benjani had a dream debut for City by scoring in a 2-1 win against Man United at Old Trafford, but his form tailed off and City's next manager, Roberto Mancini, didn't rate him as highly as Sven-Göran Eriksson did. After the Abu Dhabi takeover that summer, City could easily afford to replace him. Benjani later played for Sunderland and Blackburn before returning to Portsmouth. But the magic was over, and he only scored 4 goals in a combined 42 league games for those 3 clubs. Michael Ricketts, Bolton, 2001-2.
Michael Ricketts.
After a decent season at Walsall, Bolton took a punt on Michael Ricketts in 2000. It was a great decision. The striker fired the Trotters into the Premier League with 19 goals. Now, we've seen countless examples of forwards excelling in the Championship but struggling in the top flight. Some thought Ricketts would be another like that, but under the astute management of Sam Allardyce, he hit the ground.
Him too! Steve Bruce and Sam Allardyce. Those 2 guys just find... They won't go away. They love the coach. They don't give a crap if it's, you know, the 2nd division, 3rd division, whatever. Hey. I think Sam Allardyce coached West Brom last year before he got fired. So
Running.
Those 2 guys, man, they don't go away.
Including an equaliser against Arsenal and the winner against Manchester United. Premier League defenders shouldn't be underestimated though. Eventually they worked Ricketts out, and he scored only 2 goals in the second half of that campaign. Ricketts stayed in the Premier League for another 2 seasons with Bolton and Middlesbrough, but the rest of his career was spent in the Championship and League One.
Ew.
Saido Berahino, West Brom, 2014-15. In August 2015, Tottenham tried to sign Saido Berahino. Mauricio Pochettino wanted him to join his attack alongside Harry Kane, Dele Alli and Christian Eriksen. Berahino had scored 20 goals the previous season, even though the defensive Tony Pulis was the manager for half of it. Aged just 21, the striker seemed to have a bright future ahead of him. West Brom rejected Tottenham's bid. Berahino must wonder what could have been. He only netted 7 goals in 15-16 and didn't score at all in the Premier League after moving to Stoke. Once tipped as a future England international, Berahino now represents Burundi at international level, and instead of Spurs, he currently plays for Sheffield Wednesday in League One. Graffite, Wolfsburg, 2000.
Giraffe?
Bayern Munich might dominate the Bundesliga these days, but they didn't have everything their own way in the 2000s. Borussia Dortmund, Werder Bremen, Stuttgart and Wolfsburg all won the title in that decade. Wolfsburg's triumph was probably the most exciting. They scored 80 goals in 08-09.
That's good.
And famously thrashed Bayern 5-1. The title was a team effort, but the main reason for their success was their lethal strike duo of Edin Dzeko and Graffite. The pair scored 54 Bundesliga goals between them. That's more than 11 entire teams. Graffite got 28 of them, despite only playing 25 games. Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo would have been proud of that scoring rate. Yet the Brazilian was never able to keep up that record. He had a decent campaign in 09-10, but then spent the next 4 years in the UAE and Qatar. Roque Santa Cruz, Blackburn, 2007-8.
I don't know who this
Santa
is.
Cruz spent 8 years at Bayern Munich, but he was never a prolific goal scorer there. The most he ever managed in a Bundesliga season was 5. Blackburn fans were still excited when they won the race to sign the Paraguayan.
Buddy happy as shit. He's like, yes sir, we got buddy Roque Santa Cruz.
Mark Hughes built the team around him, and Blackburn reaped the rewards. Santa Cruz scored 19 goals in the Premier League and 23 in all competitions.
That's good.
Without his lethal finishing, there's no way Blackburn would have finished 7th. Santa Cruz underwhelmed in the following campaign though. He only notched 4 league goals and was accused of having his head turned by Manchester City. City finally got their man in 2009, but they quickly regretted signing him.
He was shit.
Santa Cruz was a flop at the Etihad, scoring only 4 times in 24 matches. He did brilliantly with Olympia after returning to Paraguay in 2016. But in European football, he was a one-season wonder. Carlos Alberto, Porto, 2003. Porto's incredible...
I was getting ready to say...
kick-started the careers of several people. Jose Mourinho, the mastermind of the success, moved to Chelsea and took Ricardo Carvalho and Paulo Ferreira with him. Deco joined Barcelona. Benny McCarthy became a household name around Europe. Carlos Alberto was expected to follow a similar trajectory. The 19-year-old forward started every game en route to the Champions League glory. He even scored the opening goal in the final against Monaco. This was supposed to be the start of an amazing career. Things didn't go to plan though. Carlos Alberto spent another season at Porto, but didn't have the same impact. He then went back to Brazil and only had one more spell in Europe, a forgettable 5-game stint with Werder Bremen in 2007-08. Francesco Coco, AC Milan, 2000.
Francesco Coco, Mr. Coco.
As a natural right footer who usually played at left back, Francesco Coco was always going to be compared to Paolo Maldini. That was the worst thing that could have happened to him. Milan only finished 6th in Serie A in 2000 to 2001, but Coco had an excellent season. He earned his first Italy call-up after some impressive displays in the Champions League. It seemed as if the 24-year-old was well on his way to becoming an international star. But then Milan loaned him to Barcelona before trading him to Inter in exchange for Clarence Seedorf. Coco struggled with form and fitness at Inter. He made only 26 league appearances in 5 years there.
That sucks.
It turned out the 2000-01 campaign was Coco's peak, rather than the start of something special.
I mean, that's all injuries though. Like you can't really be mad about that. But Coco was just hurt. But yeah, a lot of these players were definitely one-season wonders. I mean, definitely one-season wonders. Y'all let me know what was your favorite. Don't forget to like the video and sub as well. Comment down below, y'all saw some reactions. We'll see you guys later.